Happy Monday, folks. It's a brand new week here on 2822 Sports Night, your go-to sports show here on the 2822 Now app. Always 8 to 9, Monday through Thursday. Ricky and I running the show tonight. And no, we did not give Ricky smelling salts, but he is
fired up.
You're fired up.
Yeah.
Why are you fired up? Tell the folks.
We got Steelers, Dolphins in just about 15
minutes. Do.
So we'll see what happens.
Capping off week 15 of the season.
Yep, and could give Pittsburgh a nice 1.5, 2 game lead headed into the last 3 weeks of the season.
No doubt, that'd be huge.
A possible, unlikely, but clinching scenario next week as well.
Could you imagine? That'd be awesome.
Yeah,
that'd be awesome for the Steelers.
Wouldn't it be nice?
We've got the game on the TV over here. There he is. Black uniforms tonight.
I told you earlier, they're doing everything in their power to win this game because they're usually very good in those all black, those dark black and yellow uniforms. So I have a TJ Watt one at home, but
that's the guy you're worried about, though.
Yeah, Mr. Devon A-Chain. He's a hell of a running back, and Pittsburgh will be without two of their best run stuffers tonight with TJ Watt with the dry needling incident last week, and then Derek Harmon was ruled out after practicing late week, but couldn't get back. But promising sign for next week against another run-heavy team in the Detroit Lions. But yeah, big night of football for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
There is a lot to get to on this episode tonight with this game. We'll touch on this game before it gets going, and obviously you will be live reacting probably during the game. If there are things flying across your screen, just know it ain't me. My man over here is passionate. He wants to see his Steelers play well.
All I need is a win. That's all I need.
All you need is a win. All the fans watching, all they need is a win.
Yeah, exactly.
Steelers, the Eagles get back on track, a 31-0 shutout win over the Raiders. Realistically, when you play the Las Vegas Raiders, that's a get-back game for you. It was exactly what the Eagles needed, came at a great time. And the one thing that I was thinking about, because there's been a lot of focus, and we'll get to the Eagles later in the show, but there's been a lot of focus about comparing this Eagles team to that 2023 team that started 10-1. They lose 5 of 6 and lose to Tampa Bay in the wild card round. But the one thing that Eagles team in 23 didn't have was a big win when they were struggling. It was just going all in the wrong direction the rest of the season. This at least sets the Eagles up to be like, all right, now we just got to go to Washington on Saturday night and we can clinch the division and get in the playoffs and get that momentum. So that's going to be huge. I was in Maryland for the weekend, yes, Army-Navy. Oh, what a weekend. What an awesome game. We'll get to that in just a little bit. But Steelers-Dolphins, you said it, Ricky, just a couple minutes, 17 minutes until kickoff. Excuse me, this is Sunday Night Football. Monday Night Football kicks off at 8:15. 12 minutes before things get going. You already alluded to it. The big headline, no TJ Watt. Derek Harmon just announced that he won't play tonight. And you're going up against a Dolphins team that's won 4 in a row. They lose to the Browns a month and a half ago in cold weather, and you feel like, all right, this Miami team, they're done. Throw the season away. Another 2 a year that just has gone completely haywire. But you got to give them a lot of credit for fighting back and staying alive in the season. And, it's going to take a lot. If the Dolphins want to make the playoffs, a lot's going to have to happen around them. They probably would have to win out, is my guess. But
yeah, loss here, they're done.
Yeah, the one loss and they're eliminated officially?
Yes.
Okay.
Loss tonight, they're done.
Okay, so win the next 4 games for the Dolphins. You got a chance, but still a lot to do. But the Steelers, they enter 7-6. The Ravens win yesterday. They shut out Cincinnati, so they're at 7-7. Regardless, win-loss, the Steelers hold the division lead in the AFC North, but it would be really darn sweet if Pittsburgh can have that 2-game comfort under their belt going into the final 3 weeks of the season where the schedules begin to get funky. We have games on Sundays, Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays. We don't know what time you're playing in week 18. Those are all to be announced until the last. Things start to get weird. The weather's cold, but Did they practice in Pittsburgh?
You didn't know? Yeah, Saturday after they arrived, I believe around 9 p.m., they went out to Robert Morris's football facility. It was raining
that weather
there in Moon Township.
Got to get used to that weather.
Yes, so they're trying to get rid of those cold weather woes that they've.
And that's the big thing. He's Tagovailoa 0-5 in games where the temperature at kickoff is under 40 degrees. That's the big storyline, but obviously, if you're Pittsburgh, you need some players to still step up if you are on that side of the ball and you see 28 on offense in the Dolphins uniform, because that's at least your biggest concern in this game is stopping the run, which Pittsburgh has not done over the last couple of weeks.
No, Pittsburgh has really struggled with that over the last couple of weeks, especially without Derek Harmon. They allow, I think, 191 yards per game when Derek Harmon is not on the field. They allow around 96 with him. So that's just under 100-yard difference when he is on the field and off the field. They struggled last week against Baltimore. Baltimore ran for over 200. They did hold Derrick Henry to under 100 yards, but Baltimore as a whole was able to run the ball well. Keaton Mitchell had a big run in that game. And the Miami Dolphins, over this win streak, well, they've ran for 190 yards per game in each of their over their last 4 games. That's been a key component of this offense, and that's been something that they've missed over recent years. They haven't been able to run the ball in cold weather. They haven't been able to stop the run in cold weather. They're still not great at stopping the run, but yes, Devon Achane should and will be the focal point of this Miami Dolphins going into a game where I think kickoff is around 15 degrees tonight. So
and that's not the feel like either.
Yeah, no, that's not the feel like. The feel like is probably a little bit more than that. But Mike Tomlin, he's trying to keep his own streak alive. He's 11-0 at home on Monday Night Football. He has not lost. So, as we saw, there's a lot of conflicting stats here heading into this game. But Pittsburgh, plain and simple, Pittsburgh, they need a win. And also, if they want some extra motivation, well, it's a Ring of Honor night. So you know what that means? Pittsburgh's bringing back some Steeler legends back into the house. Who are those legends? Well, former center Marquise Pouncey, Ben Roethlisberger, who's beloved there in the city of Pittsburgh, and then Joey Porter, whose son currently plays on the team as well. A lot of
royalty
pressure.
in the house.
Yes, some Steelers royalty in the house. And the last time there was some royalty in the house was, I believe, they brought their 2005 team back for that game against Indianapolis. You know what happened that game? Pittsburgh's defense balled out. So hopefully they ball out again and do what they did to Jonathan Taylor and hold him to under 50 yards. But again, easier said than done when you're facing, when you're as handicapped as the Steelers' defensive line is right now.
And when you're facing a guy like Devon, who his
Home run
speed
hitter.
is off the charts. When he has some space, you're not catching up to that guy.
Now, Pittsburgh's going to need to, I say stack the box. Make Tua beat you. I don't love this receiving core. It's Jalen Waddle and Malik Washington, Darren Waller, 34-year-old ex-rapper Darren Waller. Yeah. if I'm Pittsburgh, I mean, I'm putting 8 in the box, and I'm playing a lot of big nickel. I'm playing a lot of heavy sets, a lot of three inside linebacker sets, and I'm saying we're putting the big bodies out there. They're going to play a lot of base defense. I'm saying beat us. If they beat us running the football, I'm still gonna have an issue with it. But
I was gonna say
I'm not.
You're not giving out any respect.
I'm not giving Tua the respect because I don't think he hasn't done it. He's getting paid $250 million, and the guy still hasn't won a game when the weather is under 40 degrees, and it is well below that tonight there in Pittsburgh. So. Gotta get the job done. Though.
And on the other side of the football, all day Jaylen Warren comes down with an illness. He's questionable. He's going to play. How sick is this illness? Are we talking about, a simple cold? Is it food poisoning? I mean, have you seen? I haven't seen any.
No, I haven't seen. Specific. I mean, he's a very tough individual.
So he's going to try to play through it, and at the end of the day, what are you going to say? Go for it.
They have Kenneth Gainwell.
Who's really played well in the last couple of weeks.
My fantasy hero.
But, I mean, throw the ball. I would like to see Darnell Washington used a little more tonight. That's a big fella.
Yeah.
When you throw the ball to him, he gets you those yards after the catch just because it's so hard to take that guy down.
I want to see some angry runs. Him and Minka meeting in the middle of the field.
Yeah, just because it's going to be cold and the Dolphins, like you were saying, they already struggle in the cold weather tackling. Imagine trying to tackle a 6'7", 300-pound tight end. I mean, that's a challenge that no one wants to take on. And
then you got a freak of nature at the wide receiver position and DK Metcalf.
And DK as well, yeah. Who'll be on DK in this game?
I believe it's Rasul Douglas.
Rasul Douglas.
Remember, that Dolphins secondary was really banged up, and they signed a lot of guys off the street. Rasul Douglas was one, and then Jack Jones, former Raider, was the other one. I believe he's at the slot corner tonight. And then, of course, Minka will probably be leading that back end as they traded for him in the offseason.
Yeah.
I wonder what kind of ovation he's getting. I haven't looked on Twitter, but that's real interesting to me because Minka's played his best football in Pittsburgh. He was really respected in that locker room, and I'm excited to see that. But, yeah, it's again, but Pittsburgh, again, what they got to do offensively, I think they need to run the ball and get the ball to those guys we mentioned, Washington, Metcalf. Miami, I believe, is they're bottom 10 in the NFL in stopping the run. They've really struggled in that area. And that
ultimately opens up a big pass play.
Big pass play, which Pittsburgh got last week, and I'm hoping to see more of that this week. But yeah, if you're Pittsburgh, the formula is basically the same every week for this offense. You got to be able to run the ball, and you got to be able to push the ball down the field. They didn't run the ball well last week, but they did push the ball downfield and get some big pass plays to open up the offense and make life easier for themselves.
As for the rest of the conference,
I know you're happy.
Bo Nix keeps on doing it.
Yeah.
That's 11 in a row for my Broncos. But, like they were saying, one step at a time.
Happy Ball-a-days or Bowl-a-days, however you...
The nice thing will be, if the Broncos can beat Jacksonville this weekend, how sweet would it be to be able to go to Kansas City on Christmas night and clinch the number 1 seed in their place if you win? And now,
Christmas
obviously...
gift for you and Mo.
This is... What did you say?
Great Christmas gift for you and Mo.
Oh, Mo would be ecstatic. Now, Mo, regardless, I was just going to say, not at all thrilled about the news about devastating news about Patrick Mahomes. He tore his ACL. Yeah. The same for Micah Parsons, who tore it against the Broncos yesterday. So now Gardner Minshew steps in as the Chiefs starting quarterback the rest of the way.
Did you see that last pass?
Yeah, awful throw. It was one of the worst. I mean,
Derwin James is sitting in front of him. I don't know what and they were near field goal range.
They were driving, and but that sets up an incredible opportunity to not only clinch the number 1 seed in the AFC, but keep my father from being stressed out all day while we're at the family's house for Christmas and trying to celebrate. And hopefully he feels comfortable knowing that his defense is going up against Gardner Minshew in the Kansas City Chiefs, which feels weird to say, but there we are. We're going to give the Steelers the benefit of the doubt. The game hasn't started yet. Let's say they beat the Dolphins based on the track record for Miami. That puts them at 8-6, and they're sitting in that 4 seed spot. I brought this up to you last week about how you would want to rank going up against those 3 teams in the wild card spots. All 3 have better records than the Steelers. Yeah. But because the Steelers win the division, they're going to get a home game against one of those teams. Right now, one of those teams, you said either Chargers or Texans you'd be okay playing against. Right now, it would be Chargers-Steelers, who the Chargers, we obviously saw them against the Chiefs and didn't play their best game, but they were able to pull off a win. That would be another game where the Chargers, I feel like, would rely on the run game a little bit. Hampton's back. He's healthy. He looks really good. But I think it's also a game that the Steelers would be very, very confident that they could win.
Yeah, absolutely. The thing with this Chargers team is they've been up and down all year, it seems like. They've had some issues, and one of their biggest issues is protecting Justin Herbert, and that's why I like the Steelers' chances in this game. That Chargers' offensive line is not good. They lost both of their starting tackles, both of their star starting tackles, to major significant injuries that they're now done for the year with. But if you look at Pittsburgh's strength, Pittsburgh's way of winning, they get pressure, and that creates turnovers. That is how they like to win ball games. And with the Chargers, you like to think at home you are able to create some kind of pressure. You expect TJ Watt to be back sometime within the next month. Of course, you have Alex Highsmith, Nick Herbig, Keanu Benton, Cam Hayward all in the interior. And this is a Chargers team that, yes, they like playing power football. That is what Harbaugh's brought to that team, but they can be stopped. They can be limited. I thought Pittsburgh's pass defense in that game against the Chargers was actually pretty good, aside from a few big plays by Ladd McConkey late in that football game. But you look at the Pittsburgh offensively in that game, they looked inept. Now, you go back to the month of October, they didn't hit a pass play more than 20 yards down the field. They hit a lot of them last week, and it's all predicated on that. Can Pittsburgh move the ball down the field? Can Pittsburgh run the ball? And those are two big things that are going to define what's going forward in this season. But I'd like to think that I would like their odds against the Chargers. I'm not saying they'd win that game, but I don't want to play Josh Allen. I've seen that story a couple times, and it has not ended well once for the Pittsburgh Steelers. They cannot seem to stop this team. And also, James Cook ran wild all over this team. I thought the Pittsburgh defense held up a little bit better against that Chargers run game than they did against the Bills.
We're going to go to break in a minute, and I'll give you 2 seconds to watch the first drive of this game because I know you're itching to look at that TV. Is this a must-win for the Steelers tonight, you think?
It's not a must-win, but you want to put yourself in good position going forward, and I think that's what this game is. You keep your game cushion on the Baltimore Ravens, and then you go forward from there. But for this Pittsburgh Steelers team, you want to keep yourself in good position. You want to win this game, and then you'll want to go into Detroit next week. Could you win that game? Maybe, but
it's going to be a much, much tougher challenge.
Yes, it will be, and we'll see. We'll see what happens in that game, but
what's happening in this game, you probably won't want to look at yet. So
probably not, because I fear they give up some kind of big play. But all
right, we'll be right back for more 28-22 Sports Night in just a couple of minutes. Back here on 28-22 Sports Night, where we're a little composed right now.
Yes, we are. We
forced a punt.
They got to stop.
You forced a punt. You're good.
That one, I think it was a play. I saw it on the replay, play action boot, but we're good. We're good. Now we get Raj on the field. See what happens with Raj.
Big Aaron Rodgers. Yeah. He's not afraid of the cold. He's not afraid of the cold temperatures.
He's used to playing in Green Bay. He knows. He knows
the frozen tundra.
That North football. He was in the NFC North. Now he's in the AFC North. He knows that North football.
Yeah, he's very familiar.
There's no domes except in Minnesota. I think they're the only team. See, that's the difference.
They're wimps.
Yeah, the AFC.
Sorry, we have a fellow Minnesotian out there.
The AFC North. It's all except the Browns. They're building the dome. They're soft.
That won't make a difference with them.
I don't think it will either. But
in fact, now that I think about it, I think Minnesotians might be the toughest out of anyone because it's hockey.
It is. Yeah, a lot of
hockey world out there.
It is.
Never been. Speaking of Minnesota, our good friend Spencer Pierce has been on the show. Where is he right now? Let's see. He's making the 20-hour drive. He is leaving Duluth, Minnesota, coming back home to Connecticut. So him and Dad are en route from Minnesota. He's in Swanton, Ohio right now.
Nice. I don't know where that's at, but
he's 7 hours from us in Wilkes-Barre, right outside Toledo.
Okay. Good to know.
So they got some work to do still.
Toledo.
The Eagles, 31-0 win over the Raiders on Sunday. I think many could have expected this to happen. Our good friend Chris Matthews, who we had from the Next Star affiliate out in Las Vegas. We were joking after the show about he was trying so hard to find positives in this game.
And it's hard.
It's really hard.
And you got a 2-win team that lost 7 straight.
Well, we looked at Chris's Twitter today, and he retweeted that first video of Max Crosby being like, "They don't believe in us. Let's go show them who the we're the Raiders. Let's do this. And they didn't tweet a single thing after that because the game was done by the second quarter, and Nick Sirianni pulled his starters midway through the fourth quarter. 31-0. Eagles offense looks arguably as good as it has all season long. Jalen Hurts, 12 for 15, buck 75 through the air, throws 3 touchdowns. Saquon rushes for over 70 yards. And, that's what you want to see out of the Eagles offense. Now, granted, moving forward, if the Eagles want to play in mid-January, they're going to be playing defenses that are slightly better than the Raiders,
and probably you'd have to worry
defense
about
might have to do a little more work too.
You might have to worry about a little bit more than one player on both sides of the ball.
Vegas had 75 total yards of offense? That's horrible.
The run game was atrocious. It was a mess. But
there's Jonnu.
Okay, good job, Jonnu. 1 touch a game.
But the fact that the Eagles were able to get back on track is huge for them, knowing the slump they were going through. And sometimes I'll use the basketball analogy in this football situation. Sometimes you just need to see a shot go in.
Yeah,
to get going, and that's exactly what the Eagles got.
And they've got
even if it's a layup.
Yeah, they've got a little bit of a lighter schedule coming up with the Raiders this past week, and then you got the Commanders twice in the next 3 weeks. Your only real competitive game is probably the Bills, wedged in between those two Commanders games. But overall, a good win, a win they needed, and I think a big confidence booster going forward. I'm realizing that we could win We could win games. It wasn't pretty. I still don't think their run game was great, but I like what they were doing with Dallas Goedert throughout that game. They got him involved.
Yeah, he was huge.
He could have 3 TDs if he didn't drop that other touchdown pass. But I liked the way they used him. They got A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith, I think had 2 receptions each, but both had big plays down the field, and that's really what they're looking for. Establish the run game and be able to take some shots. But a much-needed win by them and a real dominant performance. I think that was their first shutout win since it's been a while.
It's been a while since they've had one. Moving forward, you imagine they can clinch the NFC East on Saturday with a win over the Commanders. They don't need anything else to happen. They just have to win. Saturday, 5 p.m. We're at that point of the season where the TV guide, you're confused when you see NFL football and there's a game happening. It's exactly the situation we're going into. Next week the Broncos are playing on Christmas at 8 o'clock. And what day of the week is Christmas? Is it Thursday this week?
Thursday, yes.
Is it Thursday this year?
Thursday.
All right, so I guess we have 3 Thursday night football games. Speaking of Thursday night football, this week's Thursday night football game, Seahawks-Rams, is going to be unbelievable.
Yeah,
it's been a solid Thursday night schedule. Usually those are the atrocious games.
Yeah,
Example, 12-9 Colts over Broncos a few years ago. That's the bad one. Other punting?
Yeah. I don't think got to the line. I think that was Kenneth Gainwell. It's okay. It's early. They take a little bit.
There he is.
They're like a well-oiled machine. Like a train.
Yeah.
They need to build up momentum.
There we go.
Didn't happen last week.
Steelers are a train.
Yeah, that's what they are. It takes them a little bit sometimes. It's the cold weather, Rodgers has to heat up. Yeah.
He's old.
He is. He's 42.
I ran a soundbite the other day of Rodgers, and afterwards, Candace looks at me and goes, "I did not recognize Rodgers at first. He looks so old with his big gray beard and the winter hat, the beanie. He's up there in age.
The picture a few weeks ago in Buffalo where he was."
Yes, the one when the nose was chipped and the blood. My man's gone through it. Now, he's not the oldest anymore.
No.
And shout out Big Phil.
Big emphasis.
That was
he looked a little. He didn't have that football. Again, I don't think he's ever really had that football physique. I think we were talking about earlier. Him and Ben have really never been gym rats by any means.
No, and when you're out of retirement for 5 years,
he's coaching high school football.
Shoot, he doesn't have to do. When you're a coach, you can just chill there. You're telling your players, hey, hundreds up and down the field while I munch on some granola bars. Yeah. Nah, Phillip, you got to give credit to Phillip Rivers for. The Seahawks needed a game-winning drive to win that game. One of the hottest teams in football. The Colts were on the opposite end of that, and he steps in, and the numbers weren't pretty. Some of the throws weren't pretty.
Not a lot of velos
but
on those throws.
Do you give more credit to the Colts defense for keeping them in that game?
That's a really
Absolutely.
good offense. Yeah, that's a really good.
Yeah.
Really good Seahawks offense.
JSN broke free eventually. It took a little while, but then he had a massive play to, I believe he scored in that game.
And they're dealing with another loss on the defensive side of the ball, Sauce Gardner as well. So
yeah.
This is, and as we mentioned, they don't have a first-round pick.
No, they don't. So there's, what a weekend. This was an insane NFL weekend just from all different facets, and obviously the boys.
The Bills.
Yeah.
Bills coming back.
Well, they're winning. You were saying what? They're up 21-0.
21-0.
Twitter's going like, the Patriots finally beat a real good team. They're Super Bowl contenders. Well, Josh Allen, you see the video of him letting out some excess on the sideline?
Yes,
had to get it out of the system a little bit. Which he does that normally. He does. I'm pretty sure he's known for vomiting before every game because he gets very nervous. But he got that out of his system, and then he balled out. That guy's a freak of nature.
He is.
If there's one team that could take down some of these top teams record-wise in the AFC, it's the Bills.
Yeah, just because, again, you have the Josh Allen factor. They run the ball extremely well. Their defense can be run against, but they've got some playmakers on that side of the ball as well. Joey Bosa, I think, leads the NFL in forced fumbles. He came up with a big play on fourth down last week with, I think, this past week with the tip pass. They're a veteran group, and when you've got the QB advantage, it certainly gives you some. Yeah.
That has playoff experience already. Oh no!
Okay, well,
that's not what you wanted to do,
Doug
right?
Jalen, yeah. No, we can't. I can't allow too much of that, but we'll see what happens.
Oof, I love football weather. Football weather's awesome.
It is.
It's awesome, man. I got to sit in some football weather this weekend.
Yep, they got the. Yep.
It's chilly.
Didn't have outside contain.
Chilly down in Baltimore.
It is
for the weekend.
Oh, I can imagine.
Ooh.
It's a little south, but they still get that. They still get that.
When the sun goes down, you ain't got that UV heat on you.
No,
it's just dark and cold. Pretty cool experience. And I don't know if you've really sat down and watched a full Army Navy game.
I watched the majority. I'm not sure if I watched it full. I've watched
bits and pieces. It's the only college football on after conference championship weekend. And you're a football junkie, so I imagine you would have watched it. Oh, you're gonna be pissed.
Yeah, no.
You're very excited right now.
Okay. It's still early.
Really cool experience. I had an opportunity to go check out the 126th Army Navy football game this weekend down at M&T Bank Stadium, home of the Ravens in Baltimore. And what I kind of take away from that game, I know we're stopping our stories here. That was an awful throw.
Thanks.
That was an awful throw.
Thanks, Tua. That's my QB.
That was rough.
Is that that's Asante Samuel Jr.?
He had a pick. Wow.
There we go. That was a duck.
His first pick as a Steeler. That was awful. Was he looking for Waddle? Yeah.
I don't know. Yep. I think he underthrew him by a lot. We'll take it. Good job. Take it.
The biggest takeaway, I come home from is it's so much more about the experience rather than the actual result on the scoreboard for that type of game. I kind of think about it as a bucket list game. And I know it's not on the level of, going to see a Super Bowl, but it's up there just because of the tradition, the rituals before the game. The place is packed.
Oh, yeah, it's packed with
you have all
alumni.
Alumni from all mixed and meshed together from all over the place. I was with people I was with some good family friends that were from North Carolina. People behind us were from Denver. We met people from San Diego and all over the country coming to this one spot to cheer on their respective, school. And, the president was there and he did the coin flip and the jets flying over the different helicopters. And, at the end of the day, what I loved most was it was a down to the wire finish. Navy.
I feel like they're always down in the wire, no matter.
It doesn't matter. Navy's ranked in the AP poll. They're number 22, and Army,
Navy's
I think,
been really good.
5-6 wins this year. But they had the lead for most of the game, and Navy ultimately scores a touchdown to finish it. And at the very, very end of the game, when Navy was kneeling the ball out, the quarterback's talking some trash. Running back does a backflip at the end of it. One of the special teams guys from Navy runs over to by where the cadets are for Army and is waving by. And then a Army player, a big offensive lineman, goes over and is in his face, and they're having a little conversation with one another, like, don't do that, show some respect. How dare you do that? Mm-hmm. And then a defensive back from Army runs over and just body checks the Navy kid to the ground, and a brawl breaks out at the end of this. And they're supposed to both do their school songs at the end of the game. Yeah. The losing team goes first, and then the winning team does it together. But what I really appreciated was when this brawl was happening, people in the crowd were pissed about it. Because when you think of a normal rivalry, like, you want, physicality, and the fans don't like it. But for them, it was more, this is a game between Navy and Army. It's not about football. And they found it disrespectful that they were fighting with each other. And the big thing I heard was, like, on the field, yes, it's two separate teams. But at the end of the day, all these guys are one team. The country. Yeah. And that's what I really took away from the fact that it was really fascinating just to see how everyone meshes together, and they weren't a fan of the brawls on the field. And typically when you see football players fighting, you're like, yes, I like that physicality. He was down.
Better been down.
But overall, a surreal experience, and only been to Baltimore a couple of times, and lots of tailgating beforehand, lots of hard counts, tossing around the rugby ball, tossing around the football ball. Post game, win or loss, doesn't matter in the eyes of the Army folks. They're celebrating with drinks at many bars. There's generations of people. They went quickly, so they couldn't challenge it, right?
No, I think
He looked down. He looked like he bounced off the ground.
Yeah.
But no doubt, an awesome game to see in person.
No doubt. Yeah. I mean, that's certainly a bucket list game. Even though, again, you mentioned there's no big, I guess, high stakes in terms of like a Super Bowl, like a championship game. But it's a game where I think both schools, it is, again, nationally televised. And no matter what, I think most of those games are close. These two are two schools that obviously have respect for each other. And, you mentioned the fight after the game, but I feel like in the end, they both realize, or I'm glad the fans realize, hey, this isn't just like a football game. This is bigger than that. This is, two branches of the armed forces, that have a lot of alumni, whether it's in political positions or they know someone that went into Navy Army. There's a lot of representation on both sides in this, and for the game itself, it was a good game. And you mentioned, I think, the first two drives. I love this. The first quarter was done in 2 drives.
The second drive wasn't even finished by the start of the second quarter. Army was still trying to punch it in at that point. Old school football, triple option, quarterback draws. What I like most is they will start under center and then change the play up and go to shotgun. And people are like, why are we going into shotgun? We want old school football where you got the quarterback, 2 fullbacks, and the tailback in the backfield. The diamond-shaped formation.
Occasionally, they'll go to Wildcat. They'll bring the running.
Oh, yeah. And the one thing that baffles me, too, I will say it after this Aaron Rodgers throw. Dump off to Kenny Gainwell.
Okay. Pittsburgh likes that play, but...
Former Cuse, Ife Melifonwu. Former Syracuse Orange. What was I talking? On 4th and 1, on 4th and goal at the 2 or the 1, I don't know what it is, but they just don't hold on to the darn football. It felt like every time there was some sort of tush push-ish type of play, the ball was getting punched loose. And it's
You ain't finding the ball in that scrum.
no, oh my gosh. And a few years ago, I think Navy had a 99-yard fumble recovery for a touchdown. And now every time, that's the one thing that Army fans were not thrilled about. Oh, DK's wide open. Is Navy was about to score a touchdown and Army had a fumble, and the big fella, his eyes probably glue up when he saw that football on the ground and just all green in front of him because he kind of tries to pick it up and loses it, and Navy gets it back, and then they score a touchdown rather than just jumping on the ball and getting that possession. But when you see all that field, mind you, he wasn't going to get to the 50 probably. He was going to be gassed by the time he got there. Actually, those linemen, they're probably in pretty good darn shape, I would imagine. So, yeah, man, Baltimore. What a weekend with some good people. There's Jalen Warren. Yeah, great weekend, and excited to now kick off bowl season, which I know already started in blowout fashion, but playoffs start this week on Friday with Bama at Oklahoma on Friday night, and then the other 3 games on Saturday. So
should be a fun weekend of football.
Should be a good game. Friday's a big day too. The big quarter century.
Oh, for you, yes.
Oh yeah.
December
I'm hearing it. Friday, we're the big 2-5.
There we go.
We're hitting old age. I'm at the point in my life now where pain is hitting me in spots where I don't know how I'm getting it. I'm just naturally in pain in places. I think it's an effect of being old. The ribs is a whole different issue. They pump me, which I got steroids in my system.
Oh, you do?
Probably didn't mix well with the surf sides and the Angry Orchards over the weekend.
Probably not, no.
Probably not a great idea, but hey, we're here. We're healthy. We're going to ball this week.
That's right.
A heck of a time. Steelers are balling. They're moving down the field.
I hope.
All right. Let's get another break in so that you can maybe watch us now in Miami territory for a couple of minutes. All right. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes here on 2822 Sports Night. The folks at home do not have the luxury of getting to watch Ricky in these commercial breaks. I think next time we have a commercial break, I'm going to tell you not to press the commercial button so we can get a wide shot
we got to pay the bills
of you
too.
Analyzing this game from right over there.
Aaron, you're a veteran QB.
Now, where is he at? The 45? So that's what, a 63-yarder for Boswell? Do they send him out or bring up the punting unit?
I
Pin
wish
Miami
I could
back.
Tell you.
Well, they'll decide after the first quarter. First quarter moved.
Yeah, Pittsburgh took 7 minutes of their drive. Jalen Warren got beat there. Blitz pickup. We'll see what happens. It's the end of the first quarter, though.
Still a lot of football.
There is.
We said that at the 10-minute mark, and now we're saying that again. A lot of football left to go.
There is.
How about the Heisman? Fernando Mendoza taking home the trophy.
Yes.
No I don't think any shocker. I think that was many people's pick after the fact that they beat Ohio State and they're the number 1 team in the country and they're undefeated. And he has really not resurrected his career, but he's come onto the stage now after transferring from California and has put together a tremendous season and has a chance to. Indiana already captured history, their first Big Ten title in 60-something years, and now they go into the playoffs. They have a bye. They'll play the winner of Oklahoma-Alabama, I believe.
Yes.
We'll see what the the questions about the Hoosiers being frauds, which that term gets thrown around. I've heard that term way too much in the last couple of months. I'm sick and tired of the word frauds, especially when it comes to certain teams. But they're anything but that, especially after the way they played against Ohio State. And for him to get hurt on that first drive and come back in, and his Heisman speech was awesome. Just thanking everyone. He was super emotional. His brothers were there, his mom, his family, and Signetti was there. And you can just tell the guy is just genuine, down to earth, loves the game of football, and really cool to see him get the award and represent Indiana, a school that's always been a basketball school, and over the last couple of years, thanks to Kurt Cignetti and Mendoza, they've been a football program.
Yeah, and that really started again last year when they really turned things around. They brought in Kurt Cignetti. Just, I think, 2 or 3 years ago, this team was a 3-9 football team. They were really struggling. They were struggling to get things going, and people are wondering about this football program, which has the most losses in FBS history, and team not really known as a football school. Well, Fernando Mendoza transferred in there. Kurt Cignetti became head coach, and all of a sudden, this team over the last 2 years was just phenomenal. They were doing things this program has probably never dreamed about, and now they get the chance to be the number 1 seed, have a chance to possibly play 2 storied SEC programs in either Alabama or Oklahoma as they get a first round bye and they get to rest up. But I feel like, they could say they're frauds, but this team beat Ohio State. Ohio State was, I think, the most talented team in the country. I still do think Ohio State is the most talented team in the country, but they went in there, they got the job done. Wasn't pretty, but when it came down to it, the Heisman player, Fernando Mendoza, he made plays when they needed to be made. He went out there, he balled out. He had some big late TD passes. He had that drive against Penn State where they were on the verge of possibly losing that game, deep in their own territory. It's second and third and long. He gets sacked on, I think, first down, and he completes a big pass over the middle of the field and leads his team in what would be the game-winning drive at Penn State. This guy has continually made play after play. I think he's sort of captured the hearts of America. He's a really, really a good feel-good story. And in all likelihood, probably going to be the first pick in the NFL draft.
Yeah. Fernando Mendoza, maybe a New York Jet.
Could be a New York Our killer, Joe Nardone.
Well, Mark doesn't like the fact. Mark doesn't want the Jets to draft any quarterback because he doesn't believe they can develop. Which he's not wrong about that.
No, they have to get pieces around him outside of Garrett Wilson.
It's the thing with the Raiders is yes, the Raiders can go out and draft a quarterback, and there's a certain quarterback I wanted to get to in a second that says he would love to play for the Raiders if they were to draft him. But again,
I think I know
they're not. They don't have to. I mean, Geno Smith, the guy quit 2 weeks ago. He walked off the field and said, "Yeah, I'm done with this crap. Absolutely not. No more."
Beat up. And offensive line
they have zero protection whatsoever.
No. Even on Sunday, I think Kenny Pickett got sacked 4 times.
Yeah, awful. Yeah, the guy I'm mentioning is Diego Pavia. I don't know if you saw.
Yes, I've. Diego Pavia has made a name for himself.
He's been active on social media the last 48 hours ever since they announced the Heisman. He pretty much was saying Fernando Mendoza, he had a heck of a career, heck of a season. That's awesome. I'm all about being an underdog, and that's cool. But then he's saying on social media, F the voters. They were wrong. They don't know what they're voting for. And I don't think he was close either. He lost by a few hundred first-place votes. It's not like this was a nail-biting between 1 and 2. I mean, Mendoza won by a long run. And then he's going to the club and holding up signs saying F Indiana and they suck. I saw a video recently. What'd you say?
There's a reason they're in the playoffs.
And Vanderbilt is not. And
again,
granted, Vanderbilt's in a tough SEC. What?
They were a good story this year, Vanderbilt.
Pavia turned around. That's another team, Vanderbilt, that hasn't been relevant in at least our lifetime when it comes to football. If Pavia's not in Vanderbilt, they're not anywhere close to what they were this season.
Probably not.
But what worries me is I saw a video recently, and I think it was Johnny Manziel was asked about which college quarterback do you see a lot of yourself in, and he mentioned Diego Pavia. And if I flip the roles in my head, I'm like, I really hope he's not trying to be like Johnny Manziel, where he's this cocky type and wants to show that he's better than everyone, and people are doubting him, and he's going to go prove the doubters wrong. He should be happy with the fact that he led Vanderbilt to a 10-2 season.
He did.
They had some great wins this year, and now he's going to probably be a top 5, top 10 pick. But instead, teams need quarterbacks.
I know, but that's not one I'd take a flyer on.
No, well, I agree, especially after this. That's how you celebrate not winning the Heisman is taking a picture with your boys and saying F the voters and then going to the club and also
I think he's short. Slid.
Oh yeah. They called him very short. And you know, he's with his friends. I'm sure they're advocating, hey buddy, you should go post.
Yeah.
Let's get this sign that says F Indiana on it. But at the same time, you go through media training and you're almost a professional at that point. You should know better not to post those types of things online, and knowing the following you have. And yeah, tough look for him. And, definitely took away a bit of Mendoza's shine and his night that should have been his. But regardless, not cool what Diego Pavia did. Hopefully it was just a little mistake thing, and I know he put out an apology. And
sure he did.
Well, he did, and a lot of people were claiming it was fake because
I mean,
are you familiar with this? With the good old AI system and ChatGPT, it likes its long dashes.
Yes, it does.
When it gives you answers.
It
and
likes
his
a lot
tweet
of
had one of
punctuation.
those.
It likes a lot of punctuation.
Yes. And there was a lot of punctuation in Pavia's tweets apologizing for his actions. So, we're going to be punting all night, aren't we?
Yeah, it's, Oh, well. Oh, Calvin didn't call a fair catch.
Got it.
Never mind.
But when it comes to Mendoza, I mean, good for the kid. He deserved it more than anyone, and really cool to see him. And I'm excited to see what Indiana does in these playoffs. I'm excited to watch this weekend. The top 4 teams won't play until the following weekend after Christmas, but really, really fascinated to see what Indiana does and if they can make a run at history and doing something that the school has realistically never gotten close to doing.
It should be, and they're going to be, again, one of those teams to watch because they made it last year, and then early in the game, Jeremiah Love is some 90-some-odd yard run.
They had to start it, yeah.
And really to put a dent in them, but, it's not going to be much easier of a test this year. You're going to have a team with Alabama that, hasn't been like the Alabama teams in previous years, but they've shown glimpses. They're facing another tough opponent in Oklahoma and John Mateer, who's feisty in his own right, and they beat Alabama earlier this year, but they're going to be fun to watch. And Indiana, I feel like if there was a feel-good story, I feel like people want Indiana to win. Obviously, you have the 2 group of 5 teams, which, I mean, JMU's probably going to get beat up a lot by
Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong, Dukes.
But, I mean, they got Dante Moore.
Indiana went in there and beat Oregon.
Yeah, Indiana, I'm sure is a little bit more of a higher recruiting class. A little bit more talent on that roster.
A little bit.
But we'll see what happens. It should be a fun weekend coming up. But, yeah, a lot of things to look out for. And it's going to be a fun 12-team slate to look out for starting on Friday when Alabama takes on the Sooners in a rematch from earlier this year.
I will say this now. Do not be shocked if Ohio State somehow wins it.
Oh, no, I'm not rooting them out by any means. I still think they're the most talented team in this tournament.
No one was paying attention to saying for the Heisman. Jeremiah Smith was not only not a top 4 finalist for Heisman, but he didn't win best wide receiver in the country. They're just pissing off the Buckeyes.
And they got Cardell Tate. I mean, they're still loaded.
They're loaded on that team.
On the offensive and defensive sides of the ball.
And what happened last year? They lost to Michigan, their final regular season game, and then they go into the playoffs and just smoke the living hell out of every team.
Tennessee, Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
Notre Dame gave them a run for their money late, but Ohio
I don't
State,
think the score was close. I think it was like a 3-score game at the end of it.
I think Notre Dame started coming back a little bit towards the end of that.
Notre Dame.
I thought they started coming back because it was a 3-score game. They were getting blown out.
34-23.
Yeah, they were getting blown out, but I think Notre Dame made a late run in that ball game. But yeah, we'll see what happens.
How we doing? Irish fans? We a little better? We've calmed down.
Hopefully.
I wonder. You know what I wonder? Do you wish you were playing a bowl game? We let emotions get the best of us sometimes, and sometimes we make irrational decisions because of how we're feeling in the moment.
Yeah.
Well, now that it's been a week, do you wish you were watching Jeremiah Love one more time? Maybe ending on a high note. And that's the thing. That's the issue I had was, all right, you didn't make the playoffs. Sure. Be pissed off. Jeremiah Love, he probably wouldn't play in a bowl game, honestly. There's no reason for him to. He's going to be the first running back off the board. But go play BYU. Go play a top 15, top 20 team and beat them up. Yeah. Show that you were supposed to be in the playoffs. That's how you make a statement. Not whining and complaining and blaming the ACC, blaming the CFP, blaming Miami. Go make a statement. And that's my thing. That's my thing with it. And I imagine Notre Dame fans are wishing they had one more football game they could watch this year. But
they are.
Instead, Aaron Rodgers. Uh-oh.
It's fine. Don't worry. It's cold out.
You're right. Oh, was that earlier? He didn't just have that hit? Oh, there he is. Big 8-0. That's what I'm saying. Give him the football. You need 6 people to bring him down. He's still not down. There we go. Give the football to Darnell Washington. It works every darn time.
Yeah. Oh, he's talking.
He is just a monster. Jeez. All right. We got to get another commercial break in. All right. Press that button. We'll be back for a couple minutes to wrap things up here on 28-22 Sports Night. Couple of minutes left on the show. Tomorrow, I'm sure we'll talk more about this game. 0-0 still.
Beautiful.
Steelers, Dolphins.
This is how football is meant to be played.
I like it.
It's not pretty.
I like it. It's not supposed to be pretty, especially in these frigid temperatures.
Nope.
Like I said, big week. Big 2-5 on Friday. We're going to celebrate all week.
Right. All week?
I got to figure out what year this is going to be for me, because the last 2 years have been easy. It's been my LeBron James year, and this past year is my Kobe Bryant year. But who's 25 going to be? We have options. We've got to slowly narrow it down. Like, do I want to be thinking about Chris Harris Jr. for the next 365 days? Do I want to be thinking about Rakeem Christmas for the next 365 days? We got decisions to be made. Who's a Steeler that was number 25?
Artie Burns. First round bust.
This is my Marty Burns year.
That's not a good year.
I'm trying to think of other 25s.
Melvin Gordon. Broncos Melvin Gordon.
Woohoo. That's exactly what I want to do. I'm drawing a blank on a bunch of 25s. Ian Jackson. Not Ian Jackson. The player on the Pacers that is an absolute... There's some Pacers player that they drafted a couple years ago that was an absolute bust. Not Ian Jackson. He's the North Carolina
Isaiah Jackson?
Isaiah Jackson, yes. I believe he's number 25.
Okay.
I have time. I have a few days to think about it.
Yeah, you do.
As I inch one more day closer to oldness.
Yep.
A vet. Is that what they're going to call me now?
Yep, they will.
A vet? Got it. All right. We'll see you tomorrow for more 28-22 Sports Night. Go Steelers, right? Give me a go Steelers.
Go Steelers.
All right, let's do it. We'll see you tomorrow.